Good evening and welcome to another edition of your favorite sports program, Sports Wrap. My name is Ozzy Lewis
And I am Lockett Sebastian.
and together with some comments later on from Jerry Charles, and I don't know if we're going to have Mr. Loblack from overseas, but we hope to bring you a very entertaining program of Sports Wrap as usual. This will be edition number 437. Today is, of course, it's 438, I beg your pardon, 438. Today is the 28th of July, 2023. Of course, cricket still dominates. We have two test matches going on as we speak today. One, of course, with the Ashes test match, a fourth test match out there in Emirates Old Trafford in England. And it seems that England have taken a firm grip of this fourth test, but we'll get into details about that as the program wears on. So England seems to have the upper hand at this juncture at Old Trafford. In Dominica, of course, you knew the test match ended last week. The last time we were here, the test match had just a couple of days to go. In fact, it lasted 3 days. Most people did have the prognostication that the match would not go beyond the third day, and it ended on the third day. And so there were 2 days to spare. Yes, we apologize for this bit of disruption. So let's go back to that. The test match in Dominica ended in 3 days, as I said. India with a whopping victory in innings and 141 runs. And it was very much a mismatch in Dominica. But we can look at that briefly as well. But today they began the second test match in Queen's Park Oval, Trinidad. West Indies won the toss and allowed India to take first knock on what looks like a placid, docile pitch at Queen's Park Oval. And India, at the end of the day, with 280, or I think 288 for 4. They had an opening partnership of over 100, and they did lose 4 quick wickets in the middle period between lunch and tea. West Indies restricted into just about 60 runs in that period and grabbed 4 important wickets. But then India bounced back again in the last session of the post-tea session. Kohli, showing all his experience and form, is still there in his 80s or 80 or 90 not out, and Jadeja is with him. So India is still in a powerful position, 288 for just 4 wickets after being put into bat. So we're looking into all of that as well. Of course, tennis, and by now you should know that the big tennis Wimbledon champion now, the new Wimbledon champion, is a young, mercurial, sensational character, young Spaniard, 20 years old, a man called Carlos Alcaraz. He defeated the great Novak Djokovic in 5 sets. I think Novak won the first set so easily, one thought that it was a walkover for the great Novak. It was not to be. 6-1 in the first set. And then in the tie break in the second set, Alcaraz just edged out Novak in the tie break. And then they went to the third set, which Alcaraz dominated. Fourth set, Novak bounced back and won the fourth set. So Novak, in fact, won 2 sets, and it went down to the fifth and final set. And Novak was broken early in the first or second game around there, and never couldn't regain that break point. And so in the end, he went down 6-4 in the final set. So in the end, congratulations to Carlos Alcaraz, 20-year-old man from Spain, a young Spaniard, one of the youngest ever players to have won a Grand Slam, especially a Wimbledon Grand Slam. I remember Boris Becker, German guy, 18 years old, remember him winning Wimbledon many, many years ago. But Carlos Alcaraz seems to be a real sensation, and we'll talk much more about the possibilities and prospects, what lies in the tennis world for this mercurial character, Carlos Alcaraz. Now Wimbledon champion. So he's won 2 Grand Slams, and he's only 20 years old, and have a terrific future unless he gets sick or something dramatic happens. This man is going to rewrite, to my mind, the record books in tennis. So on the women's side, a young lady from Czechoslovakia, is now called the Czech Republic. Her name is Markéta, M-A-R-K-E-T-A, Markéta Vondrousova. I never heard of her before, but she's been around. I want to apologize. I did say she was a girl or a lady about 29, 30. I want to apologize. This young lady is just 24 years old. So I was adding about 6 or 7 years to her. But it was the first time I'd seen her. I hadn't seen her at all before. And she must have been away for some time because of injury. She has been around, but she's only 24. Her name again, Markéta Vondrousova. This is the new ladies champion at Wimbledon. And she beat Ons Jabeur, the lady from the Arab girl from Tunisia in Africa. Ons Jabeur was a favorite to win, and the IBM predictor had her at something like 60% to Markéta Vondrousova 40%. But on the big day, Markéta Vondrousova from Czechoslovakia, to the great joy and ecstasy of Navratilova, I couldn't get the name, sorry. The great Navratilova was also a Czech, but of course she's been naturalized American since then. But she was very delighted to see a young lady from her place, Czechoslovakia, winning Wimbledon, very prestigious Grand Slam. So congrats to Markéta Vondrousova. I'm sure we'll look into more detail. And just to let you know that Iga Swiatek, who was the young lady from Poland, she has won about 4 Grand Slams. She went down, I think, in the semifinals. Another top lady who seemed to have been a good prospect to win and failed to make it to the finals was Arina Sabalenka. And of course, Ons Jabeur lost. So just to repeat one more time, Markéta Vondrousova is the new female champion of Wimbledon, and Carlos Alcaraz, the new gentleman's champion. But we'll go into more detail with that. Right, so Lockett.
Yeah, so first, by the way, there's another test match. Pakistan beat Sri Lanka. I don't know if you realize that.
No, I was not aware of that.
Finished today, Pakistan.
Playing where?
In Sri Lanka.
In
Sri
Lanka.
They won the first test in Gaur.
Okay.
So Pakistan won that test.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to express sympathy first to...
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Well, here is a gentleman, Dorian Philogen. He passed today to his children. And here, the names of the children. Warrell is stepson. Then he had Kanai. Then he had Karu. These are the children. Warrell, Kanai,
Karu.
In fact, Paben is his stepson. Paben is married to his daughter.
Okay.
So he passed today, Dorian.
And he was a good friend, you know,
yeah,
very well.
Not far from my house.
From your place.
Yes, I want to express sympathy to him, Dorian, and Kanai. You guys hold strong. Yeah. And on a cricket note, I know you remember Ralston Otto.
Oh, yes.
Who made a lot of money. He would be walking the West Indies.
Ralston Otto today with his talent and skill today.
He passed. He had Parkinson's disease for a long time, was he? He had that for a long, long time.
Yeah, a very solid batsman.
Top
tall fella, elegant
batsman.
Top batsman.
In fact, once he's made about 300 or 400.
Yeah, some first-class 100s.
Yes, he passed last weekend. So
I never heard that.
Yeah, Ralston Otto. Yeah, so it's sad. Well, a lot of people are going on like flies. People are going on like flies now. I mean, we don't know what is going on. People are just going down.
Very sad. Very sad.
And all the while about people going down, Dominicans continue to suffer. We heard the news yesterday about this English thing. And sometimes you wonder what Dominicans
the imposition of visas. You mean?
People in Dominica can't get blows. It's like a steel band, you beating the drum. Every day in Dominica, you get up, you hear some story about what's happening in Dominica. Now this is a serious thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people go to England, they don't need visa, go and
Let's
see
pay your passage
and just go.
Yeah.
No, you have to go through. In fact, I'll give you a story. When 2016, I was manager of the West Indies A team, we went to India. Now, when you go to India, you have to go through London, right? Now, Jamaicans and Guyanese, they had to have visas.
Yeah.
So I remember Food Adin was on the team. Now, you know what had to happen? Because if you're in transit, you need a visa. They had to stay on the plane for almost 10 hours before we moved to travel. Now, we overnighted at Heathrow. We arrived at Gatwick, but we had to travel through Heathrow to get the thing, and the guys they couldn't get off because they had
no visa. Yes.
No, even when we were coming back now, they had to arrange for them to just come from one plane to the next and move. So and some people, in fact, I was talking to a main person from the who is an apologist for the Labour Party. And he says to me, don't worry, we'll fix that up. I said, so people have to be just being punished like that. It's like a punishment every time you're Dominican get up and something wrong. Now you have to go and get visa now. People who used to just go to England. And I mean, it's just something else. And how much suffering Dominican people have to go through? People are trying to get blows. And they're just taking it like a batsman, they're just bowling bouncers and you're just ducking.
Is it only Dominica?
No, but they gave the reasons why Dominica has been put.
Why Dominica?
Why Dominica?
Yes.
We heard other, but I can't think of anybody else in the Universal League or any other country.
All right.
But Dominica, and there were reasons given why Dominica, and it was because of the citizenship by investment. They would
Dominica is like a daughter or son of England,
Exactly right.
The mother country.
In fact,
it's our mother, like a son can't go to her home. To his home,
Very true. But you know the amount of people. Okay, take for instance, Solihull. Hundreds of people who made their living from going to England. Yes. They're back now getting their pension. They build homes and that. I mean, this will have their passport, so they wouldn't have a problem to go back. But as you say, like
disrupting a family, preventing the children from going back to their home, their maternal home.
I tell you, man. I mean, and this is a serious thing, and people must.
Very serious.
Yeah. And people, Dominicans are tired of getting blows, and people are accepting it. And you know something that last week, Ozzy, I heard. I didn't, and I was shocked to still hear that. I've listened to the news, and I'm hearing that the 8 Bank had the AGM. So I'm hearing Martin Charles addressing it. No, I couldn't believe this guy is the ambassador in China,
Martin, yes.
And he's still the chairman of the 8 Bank.
Yes.
But this is
imagine that.
That is shocking.
Yes.
The man is in China, the
for years in China.
Years, Dominica's ambassador.
And
he's chairman of the 8 Bank. So I mean, there's nobody in Dominica that could be chairman of the 8 Bank.
That's shocking.
That's more than shocking. The man is in China. He's an ambassador. So how does he supervise? I mean, this is unbelievable.
Very remote control.
Yes. And I don't mind if he was a financial whiz. You don't mind, He's a whiz and so on. So you can say, well, boy, that guy is brilliant. But man, I don't know. I mean, this place is really, really, really good. The man is the chairman of the 8 Bank. Chairman.
I see they're taking you to task for some comment you allegedly made.
Well, also, fact. Fact. You see, people take fact.
It's not fiction by any means.
Fiction. Now, if you say that the crowds were not big, well, some people cannot afford because of the financial situation. It's a fact. I'm still stating a fact.
Yeah, a fact.
That is not fiction or propaganda.
And there are reasons why they couldn't come.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, how many
they're not protesting against West Indies.
No.
They're not so why? And they have tickets, so they can't come.
Yes, because you have to eat lunch when you come to the ground.
Exactly.
So you have to pay a bus to the community.
Transport, food.
Some people $80 because some people got free tickets.
Yes.
But I mean, we have to be real and face the fact that because of the economic situation, because people are not able to muster that kind of money to come and watch cricket and pay that.
Fair comment.
Yeah, we have a call on the line.
Good night, gentlemen.
Yes,
good evening.
Good night, gentlemen.
Yes.
I am feeling for Dominican. I feel sorry for Dominican. Those who require visa, I feel sorry for them. That is what tried for Dominica to the gutter. Praise God for that. That's good.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, well.
so it's a lot of stuff going on. Another caller?
Well, we have another caller. Yes, caller?
Good evening, gentlemen. How you all doing?
Yes, okay, not bad, not bad. Blue.
See what the classic is now. While mother country telling us we need visa to come back home, remember we have our British passport, Mr. Elvis?
Yes.
Going to travel all about.
That's true.
Mother country telling us what we need visa to come back inside. Well, right now we colonial.
You're colonized again.
No, with our father country now, China. While mother England telling us we can't come in, the doorway open, visa free entry to China. You see how it is?
But imagine that if England is your mother. It's like you cannot go to your mother's place.
Yeah, but also that unheard of. You would never imagine that years ago.
Yeah.
That people, let's say from the Dominica,
the child of England.
In fact, also even in the days of the 40s, people that used to jump on the boat and go to England with no address.
When rush days.
Yeah, people. Yeah. In fact, I was speaking to a lady, Miss Dora. Good night.
Yeah.
She was telling me when they went, they just pay a ticket and gone on the boat. Gone.
Gentlemen, hear that.
It's shocking.
My last son resides in England. He's married there. He's got my only grandchild. My wife has just returned a few weeks ago from England to check her only grandchild. No, Brother Lamb, we can't go because he needs to get a visa.
Got a visa.
And the visas are expensive to get them, you know. Expensive. But,
yes.
Did you hear the statement about that? Or I didn't hear.
I never really heard this. I haven't heard this any statement.
From the authorities, to them, it's no big thing. Yeah. It's no big thing for something like that. I mean, some of them have no problem will get there. Yeah. But I mean, for the ordinary man in Dominica, some people wondering, boy, waiting about what? How now? That's a
very
headache.
Serious.
It's a headache for a lot of people. A headache that now they can, and it's effective right away. That's the thing, you know. Yes. Right away, you can't say if you had booked up, say you were going there for the summer, you can't go. That's it. You cannot go. You have to go and look to. I mean, I don't know.
But they were being warned for a long time. Nobody paid any heed because they thought they were invincible and that nothing could be done about it. Now it's too late. It's done. What's done is done. Yeah. And the thing about this, look at. I heard you talking about the number of people from Collyho residing in England. It's a Dominica thing. They're people from all over Dominica who
it's a family.
As a matter of fact, I was supposed to be born there. My mother told my grandmother, no way, my child is going to be born in Dominica.
Well, also, I have two sisters in England.
Right,
who live in England.
Right, in England, it's like your mother.
Well, I have two sisters who live there.
You can go to your mother's home.
Two sisters, my nephew and my niece there in England.
Right.
I mean, this is something. And a lot of people like me have plenty family in England.
Yes. People
have their kids, their parents. I mean, and these people doing this nonsense all the time. It's like a punishment.
Yeah. Well, what's her name? Patricia Scotland did ask Dominicans to suce cell. So now we're really going to suce cell.
Oh, look, somebody's saying there was an address by the PM today. Somebody said that.
We didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it.
Well, I was asking the person, what did he say? Yeah, they say, I didn't hear it. I don't know if he addressed the nation.
I heard something this happened on the radio, but I didn't really listen.
Oh, on the radio? Oh, okay.
I think it was on one of the stations this afternoon.
Oh.
You heard his voice.
Well, I was asking the person, what did he say?
Trying to explain now.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah, what happened? Something, I don't know. As always, maybe it's a general thing across the board or something.
So why did
there's no big deal then?
Oh, that is no big deal. Well, that's what I just said.
I'm paraphrasing it.
Okay, for the authorities, it's no big deal for them.
I'm paraphrasing.
Because they can go, what about the people who live in Dominica? Have to go there. Have to go and see their people or their family or go to some medical treatment.
Yes.
You cannot go.
Look at you, the one talking about how difficult it was for Dominicans to travel to see the cricket match last weekend, right? Now, can you imagine what it's going to cost Dominicans to try to go to England because they couldn't go to a cricket match? It's not England they'd be able to go to because there's no economy. This is tough.
Well, the person say he was basically saying talking about cricket and CBI and say, put it in simple terms, he say he will fix it.
He'll fix it.
We will
No big deal.
No big deal.
Okay.
But he will fix it. How that is not a big deal? As I said, not a big deal for the authorities, but it's a big deal.
Well, time will tell how good if you can fix it.
Time will really. Laban had said that. Laban had this one song,
famous statement.
Time will tell.
Masterlin Laban.
Laban. I remember in those days, the Lone Ranger, Masterlin Laban. And he spoke very well, Ozzy.
Very eloquent guy.
Very eloquent. Good English.
Very good.
Articulate Laban in those days, man.
Very articulate. Very good.
I used to like to listen to Laban.
Oh, you used to like
Of course, I listen to Laban. I used to like to hear Laban.
Hear Laban at the trade union hall.
Yes,
So,
Laban.
very eloquent guy.
Masterlin Laban. We have another caller.
Yes, we have a caller. Yes, caller.
Good night, fellas. Everything is upside down. Everything is back to front. Fellas, listen. The lie becomes a truth, and the truth is dead, as I'm concerned in Dominica. I heard you guys talking about what transpired in the last few days. The big liar was out there telling some lies this afternoon. And, trying to allay people's fears and whatnot. But people have every reason to fear. Because now, like my boy just said, Lambi said it's going to cost more. Some of them couldn't afford to see a cricket game for $80. Now they have to pay 100 and 500 pounds. Where the money coming from? Now, fellas, the truth is, Mr. Gandhi, I know everybody know world famous Gandhi, the one who had the non-violent movement in India that put the British out of India.
Mm-hmm.
He said, people who vote an idiot for a government get what they deserve. I don't think the people really deserve that kind of governance. But it's a statement that is so true, because when people have become so lackadaisical and refuse to stand for anything that is of substance, and you call for CEO and $200 and election time, these are the things that we end up with, because the people lose focus of what really is important. Guys, I'm listening to your interest in peace. I'm always open here to Ozzy, Sebastian, and Mr. Lambi. Good night, fellas.
Good night.
Thank you, my
Thank
brother.
you, caller. Thanks
you,
a
my
lot.
brother.
Good.
Yeah, so also we'll take a break, and then we hope the football people are here after
Yeah,
that.
we expect the football guys,
to
the contenders for the
presidency.
presidency.
The AGM is 2 days from now.
We hope to
on
interview
Saturday.
them. Yes,
Yes.
so they should be here.
Well, they're supposed to. I spoke to the president myself. I spoke to George. Promised to God. Esprit said that he had to go and do some coaching. Come, so we expect them to be there. So after the break, if they're not there, we move on.
This is we'll look at the tennis. We have Jerry
exactly.
for a few minutes.
Yeah. So we'll move on if they're not there.
Yeah.
So we'll take a break now.
Okay, good. We should take a break. Yes.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe, and Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth. Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe, and Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Yes, welcome back to Sports Wrap. Time is now 6:29. Correct time, 6:29. Clock says 6:32, but it's just about 3 minutes difference. Yes, Ibo, you're going to look a bit.
But you know, this is the nonsense, you know. The Football Association.
There's a big coming up, yes.
Yeah, they're supposed to have an AGM on Saturday.
AGM.
I called Glenn all the way. I eventually got him on Tuesday night. Promised to come. I spoke to George, who supposed to be
Gerald George.
Not Gerald George. What's his name? One of the contenders. He promised me he would speak to Esprit and Michael Joseph, the other guy. Esprit sent me a text yesterday, and the other coaching boy tried to come. And now these people are not there. The football is people's business.
Yeah.
Football,
public business.
A lot of money is poured into football.
Oh, a lot of FIFA. A lot of money.
Things in Dominica are not going well, football, and people feel they must not come on the program. When they tell you they'll come, they'll not come. And that is why footballers sometimes must deal with those things. For them to deal with it. When people like disrespecting, people want to come and hear what are your plans?
What are your plans?
What have you done? And you just not come after you say you will come. And it's foolishness, really.
I think we have a caller. Yes, caller, welcome to Sports Wrap. Hello?
Yes?
There's a Women World Cup going on in Australia.
Yes, it started yesterday. The Women's World Cup, going on. In fact, some people died in New Zealand, I think, after a match or something.
New Zealand beat Norway.
New Zealand beat Norway.
One love.
The
Women's World Cup, yes.
Yes, in that's the same World Cup, I understand. The guy had to go judge. And because he's a challenger now, his ticket was
cancelled.
Cancelled his
ticket.
He can't go anymore. And you would think that he would want to come on the program.
How many contenders are there for the presidency?
4. Glenn Etienne,
incumbent.
You have Michael Joseph. Esprit, one from Maho.
Esprit.
And George from Bafis.
The same George talking about.
The same one, And 4 of them.
4 contenders. We don't hear what they have to say and
offer. And the people out there want to hear them as well. What are their plans?
I would love to hear what they have to say myself.
Exactly. I want to hear them. And to just not come. And I find that so disrespectful. And the footballers out there should really some of them teach people like a lesson when they behave like that. And you see that happen. That's what happens in Dominica, where people feel when they get in the position,
autocratic
from the top it happens. So it continues. There, everybody feels
lack of transparency and accountability. When you get in position, you feel they cannot. They
can do what they want. Ignore to hell with that and so on.
No transparency, not accountable, man.
We don't have to come and tell us.
I'm the boss, man.
In charge.
They'll vote for me on Saturday again.
They're in charge.
Large in charge.
Foolishness, man. They have to teach people a lesson.
That's true, yes.
Disrespectful, man. Say you have you're going up for the presidency. And you just not coming in. Saturday, you go there and say, vote for me.
Listen, it's like what's happening in Dominica politically. You're having a general elections, and you don't have a debate.
Exactly.
This is the nonsense happening in Dominica.
This thing is just really, really something else.
And they've been notified quite a while. Of
course, yes. Up to Tuesday, I spoke to Glenn Etienne, the president. I spoke to him and he promised it, and I'll come.
He told me since Monday. He told me so. So I expected them here. Anyhow, do we have another caller? Yes, hello?
Yeah, Sibo,
sir.
That's Toast here. That's Toast
Oh, the
here.
mighty toads, fighting toads, yes.
Yeah, that's Toast here. But Sibo, you have about 27 fellas going up for election. And you can't get one to come on the program today?
Good point, Toti, and I spoke to them.
But that's a record, man.
That's one coming at all. Big election coming up.
You have Michael
Wayne George is the guy,
you have
right?
Kenny Esprit, you have Sheldon Casimir,
Wayne George.
you have Wayne Benjamin, you have Dexter Ducre, you have John Joseph, you have Christina Sobel, you have all kind of names there. Joel Hamilton, and cannot get out one person.
Nobody to come.
Record, man.
Yeah.
But some of the fellas I see that going up there, I don't think the footballers should vote them though.
Well, coach, you can say who you are there. You only
Yeah,
know.
because you have people like Sheldon Casimir. To me, Mr. is a loose cannon, and he goes up for first vice president. That's a record.
What about the presidency? The four guys. Who would you endorse?
Michael Joseph
Incumbents.
was the first vice president. The man left his post before his time was up.
He left his post?
You can't elect people like that.
So,
When Job is on the payroll of the Football Association, so and he wants to fight against his boss, but that's a record, man. Dexter Ducre does not do the work of the FA. He's a member of the FA doing Dexter Ducre work. I think about treasurer.
my goodness.
I won't vote Dexter Ducre. I'll go for John Joseph.
Okay.
Well,
That's a record, man.
So who else do you endorse? Who else are you endorsing?
But Glenn Etienne will remain there. Glenn Etienne will remain there.
Okay.
Glenn Etienne will remain.
Okay. So you think he's doing a good job, Glenn Etienne?
Yeah, man. Glenn Etienne have a chance. Yvette Laura, I mean, she know little football. But Eric Cindy Galway will definitely beat her for second vice president.
Why? Okay, why? Why?
Because of his experience. He has been there already.
Oh, so that is a reason. But what's his track record? What's his track record? That's why you vote for people who not extend.
His track record is good.
Okay.
like it with it.
His track record is good. Joel Hamilton is employed with the Dominica Grammar School. The youth officer job is a full-time job. The youth officer is a full-time. Joe Faustin resigned, and Colin Bernard took that position.
Right.
Joel Hamilton employed with Dominica Grammar School. I do not know how we're going to do that.
But that's sad, very
Jason
sad.
Timothy at one time was a second vice president. He abandoned that post also. That is the son of Julius Timothy. Yeah, he's now fighting to be a committee member. That's a demotion, a committee member from second vice president. But that's ridiculous, man.
Tops, are you a voter? Do you vote at this election? Do you vote?
Yeah, I vote, Sibo. Yeah, I vote.
Oh, you are a voter at the election?
Yes, I vote at the election. Yeah.
So who do you represent?
Well, Sibo, I can't elaborate on that now.
So you're a proxy voter? A proxy voter?
On that note, Sibo, on that note, I'm going to leave you an office.
Oh, okay, fighting total man.
Just say you can disclose.
Yeah.
Who you going to vote for?
Fighting total. I think we have another caller. Yes, hello?
People,
Yes, sir.
that's my name for on DBS, you know. On DBS, yeah, on DBS, if Delvin Estrie.
With Delvin Esprit.
All them fellas that I going up for the election there. Last night they were out there. They lay all their plans.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They were on DBS as
Well, that's what
well.
he's saying. I didn't know.
They lay down all their plans. What plan they have for, if they get in power.
Oh, I see. Okay.
In power.
Right, they ducking all you.
Okay, all right.
They're ducking us.
Yeah.
You don't want to answer certain questions.
Yeah. Okay, all right, thank you. Yeah, well,
Ozzy,
we
another
have
caller.
another caller. Yes, caller?
See what, I just want to ask you a question. Maybe you know more than Mr. Ellis. I hear a name calling the Laura lady. Is she the Starboy son mother?
I don't know, to be honest. Well, Lambi shaking his head. I don't know.
We've nodding.
Lambi's nodding like approval. He's approving of what you said. I don't know really.
I heard the name and the surname, and that's the only person I know. That name is Starboy first son mother. All right then.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
okay.
Father, his first son, mother.
I don't know already. I really don't know. Well, Lambi knows. Lambi knows these people.
Lambi knows that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know. Because to be honest, even a lot of the ministers, I'll tell you what, I don't even know them. I don't even know them. A lot of them.
My people.
Well, interesting indeed. Well, look at what we'll have to move on. Let's do a little bit of tennis.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Let's bring in Jerry. Because Jerry likes to get involved in the tennis, So we're going to look at
Yeah. Well, like I said, this young. By the way, Ozzy, he lives. Well, that's what now. Where he resides is in the top floor of a kebab shop in Spain. That's why he has a flat.
the Alcaraz.
He lives upstairs of a kebab. You know what is kebab?
Some
meat thing where they have steak.
Yes.
Right. So that's that there's a store below where he lives. It's flat.
Okay.
Upstairs of a kebab store.
Yeah.
So well now he can buy more than a kebab store. After winning Wimbledon,
yes.
He can start building a big mansion.
$1 million,
Well, it's more than $1 million because it's over £2 million.
Yeah, £2 million. That's about
like $6 to follow.
Well, that's even more than endorsements, even more than the prize money.
So he'll be able to buy a proper house for himself with a tennis court in it, swimming pool, everything. But he lives upstairs of a kebab store in Spain. That's where he lives.
What?
The 20-year-old boy. That's where he lives.
I thought he lived with his mother still, man.
Well, I saw his father then, his brother. I don't know if you saw them in the box.
Yes.
His father and his brother there.
His brother was there, yes.
Yeah, looked just like him. His brother.
A lot, yes.
They look just like him. Yes.
But
well, this guy, I mean, what I saw, this guy is 20 years. He has 2 Grand Slams already. Barring injury or a dramatic loss of form
or something,
he could surpass all these guys. Because let's say in the next 12 years, he's 20 now, 12 years from now, will be 32.
32, 12 years from now.
Years, that's 48
Grand Slams a year.
48 Grand Slams.
48 Grand Slams.
He could win half of them.
Conservatively,
he could win half.
Yeah.
He could win half. So that would be 12 to 24 and to 26. And that's conservatively. Because 32, you still have plenty of time. Because Djokovic is 36 years. Nadal is 37. So this guy, barring a dramatic loss of form or injury, he could survive. Watching the game, there was a game that went on for 27 minutes, 27. For people to understand.
The first game.
One game.
Well,
that's why we have to explain to people.
Yes, the game.
Because a tennis game is a match. A tennis is a match. A game is, so to explain to the
4
people,
points.
4 points. Yeah. So there was one game with about 11 deuces.
Yes.
That went for 27.
Only 11 or more 11?
About 11.
Why the number of deuces?
27 minutes.
One game.
One game.
Yes.
So if you're not fit, you can't play that.
Yeah.
You cannot play that.
That was somewhere in the third set or something there.
27 minutes.
That was something else, man. I think it was the one in the third set.
Yeah, it was the 5th game in the third set.
The third set,
the 5th game in the third set.
And in the end, he won that game. But the game last year, there was 11 or 12 deuces, Mm-hmm. Deuce means 40.
Well, that's what I say for people who don't understand. You have to explain it to people.
Yes. So a game like with 4 points, 15, then you go to 30, you go to 40, and the next point you win
the
game.
The next point you win the game.
But if the next was on the other side, the opponent that is the same, you call it deuce, you have 40 each. You have to get 2 more points beyond deuce to win the game. Because advantage, and then...
But this guy had Djokovic on his backside. I saw some strokes. I felt sorry for Djokovic. In like Muhammad Ali, remember when they have Sonny Liston has, let's say, like Floyd Patterson.
Is that going to beat fellow?
You mean what's his name again from Ohio?
Tyson, man.
Yeah, what's his name?
Buster Douglas.
When he flawed Tyson.
Tyson was looking for his false teeth or whatever he was looking for. And I was shocking, man. The eye was puffy. It reminded me of it a bit,
Yeah, the guy saw Djokovic at the backside.
Yeah.
What the guy, some blistering shots, man. I saw some strokes on that guy.
But then I saw this guy a year or 2 ago playing 60 pass.
You did say so.
Yeah. This guy is from the world. This guy beats the pass like nothing,
The guy, and in fact, the guy is smart. I mean, what he did in the fourth set, he realized he just let that set, and he said, "Don't worry, I'll take the fifth set." And that's how confident he is, man. The guy is confident.
He has all the attributes of a.
I tell you, the guy is going to surpass barring injury and dramatic loss.
He has what it takes, and he's built like a tree trunk. He's strong looking, man. Yes, I think we have a caller.
Hello, good evening, my friend.
Hello, yes.
How are you all?
Congratulations, you beat my friend.
Thank you very much, Alcaraz, the wonder boy.
Yeah, he is a wonder boy. You have to face facts.
Also, you notice when your friend is losing, you notice how he broke a
He
racket.
smashed a racket,
Well,
man.
he has a record fine, you know.
Yes.
I have never seen.
Elizabeth, there was a record fine. He had to pay $8,000.
Yes, I've never.
But that's a drop in the bucket for him.
You haven't seen Nadal smash a racket
I've never
yet?
seen Nadal or Federer when they lose a game or losing to break a racket. That is why Shagovic is not my fan.
I've never seen Federer for sure. But I'm not sure for Nadal. If I'm not.
Swiatek is in the same group. He and Swiatek. They are the same type of people.
Swiatek can take
it was a
defeat.
very good game. And remember last week I told you, if Alcaraz didn't freeze up in the last game, Alcaraz would have beaten Shagovic, you know. Remember I told
Well,
you.
it was possible. It was a very tight match at the French Open, yes.
Yes, at the French Open, when he got injured.
He cramped up. Cramped up. He couldn't move.
Anyway, I'm happy the wonder boy won. Right now, you notice what Shagovic doing now, how he's taking his. Before I used to tell you all, when he's losing, you always getting medical time. Oh, either his foot or his hand or something is wrong.
Geez.
But this strategy, I notice it. Do you notice he playing, taking his time?
Time violation for serving, yes. Once or twice, it's called for time violation. They call that, yes. As a noisy boy when you're called for that, yeah.
Anyway, good evening.
Yeah, but it was a great match.
And that was his build-up, to the angry when he smashed the racket, when the referee told him that you had to speed it up.
Yeah.
So all that egged him on, and he got upset, in that same set.
That got him very upset.
Yeah, very, very upset.
Yeah.
We have another caller. Good night.
Hello,
good night.
Yes, Sibo Ozzy. Good evening.
Yes, hello. Oh, that's yes.
That's Senval.
Senval.
Yes. Sometimes I feel the tennis games, some of them go on for much too long. I mean, it's not a team sport like cricket, or so you prefer 6 hours, or football is just 90 minutes. And I believe the associations should do something to shorten the length of the tennis games, because when the players get tired, the quality drops. So like what they could do, you have a set is, I don't know, I call it points, I don't know, so they call it. You have 15, 15, 10, and 15.
The points, they call points. Yes.
Points. I find that deuce advantage going for much too long.
Deuce and back to deuce.
Advantage, the other one will go back to deuce again, and that's what prolongs the game. Maybe 2 things they could do: make it 15 points across the thing, 15, 15, 15, 15. So you have 60 points. Or if you have deuce, the next person who win the point, because that advantage and deuce advantage, man, that makes the game going on for much too long, man. And sometimes you can see the players get really, really tired.
Yeah. Mr. Senval, there's a principle about that you have to win. If you watch the sets, you have 7-5, you have 6-4. You always have to win by 2 points. 2 games, 2 points. So it carries on.
Like a tie break.
Like the tie break.
2 clear points.
2 clear points.
Over,
it's a standard.
Yeah. But I see the point of the game.
Okay. Well, the only thing that can happen.
So many deuces, man.
The only thing they have to, instead of 5 sets, play 3 sets. That's what they will have to do. Like the women.
No, they cannot.
Well, that's the only thing they will have to do.
5 sets is a lot of tennis, boy.
Yeah, well, it's plenty.
A lot of tennis.
And you have to be very fit to play that. Especially, there's one game what I liked, where I think it was the 5th set. He had this drop shot where Djokovic came up to the net, he hit it inside, and then the guy lobbed Djokovic, and Djokovic tried to go back.
And it fell in,
He fell in.
Yes,
Djokovic just couldn't get it. And to me, he was toying with him. That's what he was doing, toying with Djokovic.
Well, remember, he's 16 years younger.
Well, that's what I'm saying, exactly.
Makes a big difference,
Exactly. and the guy has power. His forehand shots, man, it's something.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens at the U.S. Open if Djokovic and meet again.
Well, this guy
else.
That might be a better surface for him.
The U.S. Open, yes, asphalt.
For him, that would be a better surface.
I think so.
Yeah, it'd be a better surface for him.
This guy,
I think I heard Djokovic said that he didn't expect him to adapt
so quickly to the grass. He said so.
So can you imagine him getting in a
Right. So he's right. I fear for. I remember before I told you I fear this guy.
Yeah, he's dangerous.
I could see this guy had all the attributes, everything: speed, power, accuracy, stamina. This guy had all the takes.
It had everything. But the only thing I will say is that I think from the first set when Djokovic won 6-1 easily.
If he had won his second, the tie break,
he went 6-5. Djokovic went up 6-5. But again, I think Djokovic tennis
Hold on, we have a caller.
Hold your thought, Jerry. I think you have an important point there. Yes, caller.
Hello, one more point.
Yes.
I heard Senval make a point there, but you see, Ozzy and Sibo, that's the joy of the game, When you go to see those matches, these people want to see a good match,
True.
So
Contest.
Yes, they want to see a good match. If it's 40-40, they want to see who is the better of the two. I can remember when that game started, we had Wawrinka was playing, if I can remember with whom. And in this same thing, Wawrinka and the fellow was playing. And Wawrinka started to hit the ball. The other fellow started to hit it back. Wawrinka hit, like they play in Qatar. And the crowd start to go on it. They have to speed up the game, So they want to see real play. You don't go there and a game finishing. Sometimes when the game finishes 2 sets or 3 sets, they want it to go to 4-5 sets. So that is the joy of the game.
Yeah. But
she said the crowds are to book on it. A nice Creole term she uses.
Bugone.
Yeah.
She will have to translate.
Yeah. Well, that's Lambi, you should know what is Bugone, although you're a married man. Although you're a married man, Bugone is easy. Also, you don't know what Bugone means.
I'm not sure.
Grumble.
Yeah, what people, yes. Bugone.
I never heard of Bugone before.
Well, yeah, that's a patois term.
It's a battle too.
But eventually, I've got the meaning. Eventually, from the context.
Right, the context.
The crowd got fed up then.
Yes.
It has to do with the crowd being antagonized.
So you can't Bugone.
Yeah, Mr. Lewis.
So Jerry, you're making a point.
I was making a point concerning Djokovic when he won the first set. That was a very easy game for him. 6-1. Coming into the second set, for one reason or the other, Djokovic was very indecisive. He's not that kind of player. He's very fundamental in his shot play, and one of his best shots, his backhand, he just seems to be playing it in the net. His tennis was very erratic.
In the second set.
For instance, in the third set, Djokovic doesn't give you them kind of opportunity to go cross-court with him. And he was just allowing Alcaraz to make cross-court shots and then rush into the net. That's not his style of play.
The third set was his poorest set, yeah?
Yes, very poor.
Had he won the tie break in the second set, 2 sets up, then he'd have gone on to win,
I think then the balance of power would have shifted to Djokovic because in the first set, having beaten Alcaraz 6-1, Alcaraz was a bit erratic, He was shocked because he started to look at his bench and saying, what for me to do?
6-1 was a
solid
first set.
Yes.
Had he gone to, and he doesn't lose tie breaks.
He doesn't.
So when he lost the tie break, that demoralized Djokovic. Man.
But the sadden part about the match for me myself, where I think Djokovic felt that he could have done more to win the game, is when he watched his 2 boys. When he watched his 2 boys and he put his hands,
he cried in the end, when he saw his 2 boys.
His 2 boys.
He didn't do enough for them.
He cried.
He felt he could have won.
Yes, he felt he could. He didn't do enough to win the game.
Yeah.
I felt so myself. He didn't do enough.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if they get together again, a matchup at the U.S. Open.
Well,
just about 2 months from now.
I heard Sibo a while ago was counting for 12 years, if Alcaraz go up to 12 years.
Everything being equal.
Everything being equal. Yes. But I have a different opinion about that. I think right now, the tennis is
so
drawing.
Competitive,
it is much too competitive to Look at that boy from Italy, Senna. Oh my, a slim boy, no body, no fat on him. And he's hitting the ball like it is out of this world.
Yannick Sinner.
The
semi-finals.
So the chances of anybody
dominating like the big three.
I stand to be corrected, but I don't think it will happen.
There's a guy, don't forget, from Denmark called Rooney. This guy is almost as good as Alcaraz. Have you seen Rooney in action?
Yes.
He has beaten Djokovic twice.
Beaten Djokovic
recently. Twice. The last time.
Alcaraz guy has the little extra. You see, great players.
Have you ever seen the guy from
Yes,
Denmark?
I've seen them.
But
you see, great players have whether in any sport, you differentiate from the lesser mortals.
Yeah.
Alcaraz has this little extra which takes him over the top. That's what happened. Yeah. He has a little extra. I mean, all the guys are good.
Well,
all the guys are good.
Another set of a big three then.
That's called overdrive.
Yeah. Sibo is correct, and
overdrive.
You watch this guy play, man.
Sibo is correct in that, and that is what Jabo, is it Jabo? The one that lost in the final.
The girl on Jabo.
Jabo.
Yes.
That is what she's missing. That extra to get over the top to win a major.
Well, she cried, boy.
Of course, she have to.
She cried so much, man.
That's the third time, Mr.
Third final, yes.
Third final that she's losing.
Yes. Did you see that match?
No, I didn't watch the women.
The women.
I didn't watch
Ons Jabeur, Arab girl from Tunisia. Yes. The person who won is Maketa Vondrousova from Czechoslovakia.
She's good.
And Martina Navratilova
is also a Czech.
She was right in the box there, but she was happy to see a fellow Czech.
Finally, finally a fellow Czech.
Delighted, man.
Yes. Have a call on the line. Good night.
Yes. Hello?
Yes, good evening. I would really like to see our tennis revive on Dominica, but certainly that was a great final with this Spaniard there, this guy from Spain, Carlos Alvarez.
The king of Spain was there,
Yes. This was really tennis at its best. And I can tell you, this young fella seemed to have a lot of stamina. And indeed, he really played truly. And, one of the things about his opponent, Djokovic, when his sons were in the background, they're waving, and he said, I thought you all would be crying. And they were just smiling and waving.
Yes.
But I think, if we have some tennis youngsters with a little potential here. We can only get our tennis thing going in Dominica. I think there's a big thing in tennis. Of course, not just the money, but of course, the whole prestige and that sort of thing. But he really left with a decent purse, I think.
Yes.
And I really hope that youngsters looking around the region and in Dominica can emulate and come back. We have the raw talent. And we need the technical know-how.
Well, caller, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you, say that we'd like to see tennis revive, and we have people with talent. Where is tennis being played in Dominica? Who is really getting tennis?
That's a lovely game.
But tell me, where is tennis being played now?
Apart from a little court, I see them practicing in Portsmouth. There's nothing. But really, we need with the new dispensation, I would only hope that before long, whoever is listening,
what you said in what new dispensation in terms of sports?
Yeah.
Huh?
What was the question?
No, you said about
the new dispensation.
Well, what is the new dispensation? Because I don't see tennis being played. I don't know what you're talking about. Honestly, let's be real.
There's no, but of course, I'm sure that the tennis people are still around. I know Andy Carter have been doing something now they stopped for a while, but really.
But if they're tennis association in Dominica?
I think these people they dissolved, but somebody was telling me recently that they're going to reorganize themselves and get things going together. I think they have some plans to revive things. But let's just wait and see.
Yeah, okay, caller, thank you.
All right, thanks. Well,
thank you.
Yeah, thanks for your comment.
I haven't, in the days gone by, the Dominica Club, there was real tennis, but I haven't seen tennis being played in Dominica for a while now. There's no real tennis going on.
Tennis is a great game, boy. Tremendous game.
There was a hidden election that took place, and I think Mr. Barron's son is heading that.
I heard that name.
Yes. It was a hidden election because I'm a member. The last legal election that took place in Dominica at the Fortune Hotel, which Thomas Dorset had. That was the last election.
Things are just dysfunctional, man.
Yeah.
There's nothing happening.
But Sibo, since you mentioned Dominica Club, is it possible that this can be restored?
Well, I understood the authorities they were supposed to build a hall of Hall of Justice. A hall is that I heard
in that area.
They
Yeah,
were earmarked for a Hall of Justice
in High Street.
Well, I heard that from years ago. The authorities said that should have been built like 10 years ago. It should have been built yet.
That is correct.
But we heard the authorities saying they were going to build this Hall of Justice
in High Street.
The
Dominica Club.
The area there that was earmarked. It was said, I don't know, I'm not sure if it's in the budget or what, but it was earmarked for a Hall of Justice. We haven't seen it yet. A lot of things.
Decade ago, man.
A lot of things you hear going to be built and you never hear.
It's a great pity, but I wish I could just be born again and go into tennis, man. I love my tennis.
Yeah, I love the game. And that place, Sibu, if the president at the time had listened to Andy Carter, we could have sourced the money to buy the place, you know. Yeah. And he had
ideas and
to said, let's buy the place. You know, let's try to buy the place.
Who is we that was going to buy it? Oh, they had the funds?
No, we were going to ITF, International Tennis Federation. Okay. That's what Carter was planning, you know, so we can source the fund. Because I think it went for peanuts. That whole piece of thing went for $850,000.
Have you ever played any tennis like that?
No, not really. Table tennis, not lawn tennis.
Table tennis. I play
lawn tennis.
Yeah, I'm an expert in that.
Table tennis, not lawn tennis. So we have to move on, Ozzy, because we have cricket to talk about. A lot of cricket.
So a little comment on Iga Swiatek, the Polish girl. She failed to even reach the finals this time, Jerry. What do you thought of that?
She lost in the quarterfinals.
Yes, she was beaten by Elena Svitolina, the girl from Ukraine.
That girl, Mr. Louis, she has a problem.
Iga Swiatek?
Yes, she cannot. She can win from the front, Mr. Louis. But if you
fight from behind,
yes, she cannot fight from behind.
Yeah.
She can win from front.
You make a good point.
But
I think I've seen her matches. Yes,
you watch her again, Mr.
She doesn't come from behind.
She cannot come from behind and beat you.
Yeah.
She will win you
from the outset. Just go on and maintain a lead.
But her temperament is not that. Her mental faculty not that strong. You know, to win from behind. Yeah. You see, like other players, Mr. Luis, you go ahead of them, you know, they come back, they break you, you know, and they equalize and
fight back. She doesn't fight back.
No.
But Jerry talking about the men, the women have a number of women contending for number one, you know. I'll give you some names there, like the girl from Russia, Rybakina, Ons Jabeur, Arina Sabalenka is a lovely girl, you know, good tennis player too. You have about 6 or 8 of them vying for the number one spot, you know.
The only thing, Mr. Lewis, I found that and in the last Wimbledon that just played there is that most of the black girls didn't show up.
No, Sloane Stevens, I didn't see much of her.
I don't think she had entered. And there's another black girl, another stumpy girl that showed up at the US Open last year. I can't remember her name.
Didn't see her this time.
I didn't see her, you know.
Well, Wimbledon looks like a classy place, you know.
It is classy.
It is classy.
Very classy. By the way, the King of Spain was right there.
But not only that, the next King of England was sitting right there with his whole family.
Right.
And his wife wife dominated the whole thing at one time as wondered when Alcaraz was.
Let me saw that.
Yeah, of course.
Let me watch the tennis there, man.
Of course.
You saw the King of Spain there.
And what I saw again is the reception he got when he got home.
Yes.
Some people didn't want to go to sleep at all.
Yes.
No, it was nice. It was
really good. Carlos.
A good welcome. I must
Finally, do you find Alcaraz to be a cocky fella? Or is he a guy who is reasonably confident or self-assured, but not a boaster, cocky fella?
Well, he's more for people's personal because he was on his way from waving, and he didn't want to stop because the people wanted more of him, and he just kept on waving at them. So he's a guy
people's person.
To me,
a young man. He looks like an all right fella to me.
But his coach, that ex-tennis player, kept him in check, you know, because when he won the second set, there was he was building a tendency of playing to the crowd, waving and pumping and, you know, people's person. And then his coach gave him the sign. Cool down. You don't win yet. Play it safe.
That's experience.
But Novak, at the very end, when Novak realized he's lost, and his 2 kids were there. Although he couldn't take it, he broke down, you know.
He broke down.
First, I said, he cried.
He cried. Yes, he cried. I complained about that when Federer lost his first, when Nadal won his first Australian championship against Federer. I felt Federer was a little bit reasonable to be crying, but sometimes it's the emotion. You cannot hold it back.
But this lady cried profusely. The Ozjabber cried for the rest. The princess had to console her, people had to console her. She was inconsolably tearful for about an hour, man.
Yes.
Ozjabber. Anyhow. Yeah. Okay, yes. Jerry, any final comment?
My final comment I have to make is that, and no, I won't make it on the tennis. We have dealt with it for a long while now. I want to say that football in Dominica, we got a problem, Mr. Luis.
Yes.
The very same people and them you see that running the day-to-day game, like the Big Joe, the Ken George, and these people. The football haven't got no human resource. The clubs are non-functional to say they have a secretary, they have a president, they have a vice president, and a treasurer. They're not functioning like that. For instance, Mr. Luis, there's $1,500 being offered by the DFA, and for when holding your annual general meeting on a consistent basis, the clubs can't take advantage of that. You check? They have no human resource.
No elections coming up pretty soon. Is it Saturday, Lucas?
Saturday. Well, that's why I'm saying that. You check? None of the clubs.
Supposed to have had a couple of contenders come here.
Four of them
to interview them.
Yes.
And ask for their proposals and so on. Nobody come.
Nobody came.
Up.
Nobody came.
Jerry.
Yeah.
What do you think of the present DFA? You should stay or you want new blood, Jerry? You're an outspoken guy. I put you in his spot.
Yeah, Mr. Luis, to be honest with you, what I see in that coming up against Glenn Etienne, it would take us some time to get rid of what that is there right now and to elect any one of the contenders that come in there. I don't think they have.
What it takes.
You can build, Mr. Lit, but it will take you a longer period of time. You understand?
Yeah.
But so I have the opinion that I would go with what
the incumbents can still hold on.
Although I still hold the opinion, for 3 terms, you can call it a day. You check, Glenn took over from Patrick John and now he's approaching 3 terms. I probably think that he can maybe call it a day. But if he wants to go a 3rd term on his own, apart from the 2 years he did from Patrick John, when Patrick John was thrown out, I think he can go a 3rd term. But it would take us a longer period of time to now go in back, a little bit. And I also think is that the clubs and them need to, Glenn has not set a legacy. In the process, I'm telling you that he should remain there. His legacy hasn't been established. He haven't done it for 2 terms now. Simply because, I'm going to give you one example, Mr. Luis. Do you know that Dominica, after 10 years of Glenn, Dominica still only have 1 technical director? Why cannot we draft 2 young boys and tell them, go and do football? Go and do a technical director scholarship? Where are the coaches? Nobody. And that is the basic problem that we have in Dominica right now, Mr. Luis, with our human resource. Our human resource. See that, Mr. Luis? The sports division is supposed to have some of the best technical coaches. Because why, Mr. Luis? They're meeting the kids and them at the very early age where you have to teach them the fundamentals. And they are just stocking up the sports division with fly-by-night people and call them coach.
Jerry, I just wanted to get your attention because you have hundreds, if not thousands, listening. You are addressing Mr. Luis.
Mr. Luis.
No, that's okay.
Mr. Luis and Cebu. Yes.
Yeah. I see somebody trying to call. I don't know.
Yeah, man, Mr. Luis.
The light was coming on, but it's supposed to have changed your mind. Anyhow. Right. So, Jerry.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Jerry,
for
your contribution. And we look forward to Djokovic.
It will come,
Novak and Carlos.
We will.
US Open.
The US Open for sure.
That's August.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just now, end of August.
Yes. End of August it is, Okay, Jerry, thanks for your contribution, man. Right. Good. Look at it's now
Yes.
After 7 already.
Well, we have I see a caller.
I saw a light coming on and going off, coming on for 6 times. Now it comes again. Yes. Here it comes. Yes. Overseas. Yeah. Hello. Hello.
Good evening, Dominica. Sibo, I know all you on sports now.
Yes.
But I want to make a little statement about the England business. Please allow me to.
Quickly, go ahead.
Anybody?
Stop listening to your radio. Go on. Stop listening to your radio. That's what you're doing. Don't listen to your radio.
All right.
Quickly.
What I'm saying, Sibo, any person that tell you what happened in England against Dominica, they either wicked or they all for themselves. Because you cannot tell me you have a product that you can go into a country and they take that opportunity away from you and you have to now file for a visa. Tell me that's good for the country. Sibo, I read the thing for myself. The reason Dominica in that situation is because of the security of the UK. And if they tell you the security of the UK is in danger by Dominica's CBI passport, it means that there is a lot to it. And as far as I see, that CBI, even the statement it has shine in it, that means to say there's a lot of corruption. When you have a prime minister like Kerry, when you have a man can come out St. Croix, St. Thomas, could not even pay his fee to enter Dominica today. His assets worth over $30 million. And you have people building hotels out of the passport of Dominica. That is bloody corruption.
Okay, thank you, man.
They fed up with Dominicans. Not they put in their foot down to that prime minister because we was under England.
All right, brother.
Okay, caller.
Okay, bro. Okay.
In Dominica.
Thank you.
All right, caller. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. Ozzy, when we had the match in Dominica, it finished inside 3 days. I wasn't surprised.
Yeah.
But I have a problem when I heard people talking about the pitch, blaming the pitch. I'll tell you why. One team made 400 runs. They only lost half their wickets. Another team lost all their wickets.
And still couldn't
They
reach.
couldn't. In fact, Joshua, the young boy, batted over 500 minutes.
Jaiswal.
Yeah. West Indies didn't bat 500 minutes in the 2 innings. So they lost 20 wickets and couldn't even bat 500 minutes. And I didn't see one and I challenged anybody, one West Indian batsman coming down the track. Everybody was there in the crease and waiting.
Playing the spin.
Nobody was coming down the wicket to hit the ball or at least to nullify the spin.
Yeah.
You saw that from the 21-year-old boy doing that. So people keep trying to blame the pitch and saying the pitch wasn't good. The pitch was good today, and West Indies went to bowl. The pitch was good today, right? And West Indies. So I just find sometimes, and like I said to somebody, and we have to be real, Ozzy. West Indies we don't have the players. We don't have the players.
Do not have them.
Listen, Gary Sobers batting at number 6 for West Indies, The guy batting at number 6 now is the keeper. Since he made the 100 against England, I was checking it in 15 innings.
Da Silva,
he's averaging 17.
17.
In any other team, he'd be dropped.
Yeah.
He's averaging 17 runs per inning in the last 16 innings, and he's batting at number 6 for West Indies. So to me, Jason Holder is probably the only world-class cricketer we have. Only. Nobody else. So we're going to be struggling against high-class teams. We will struggle. So people, we have to be real. I don't think
we haven't got the players of that mold of before. Mm-hmm. Certainly, they're different.
And not only that, and what annoyed me, West Indies lost on Friday. Okay, Saturday, you want to stay in the hotel. Couldn't the team have come and practice on Sunday, man? You had good weather there. Sunday, come and practice.
Right,
you lost a match in 3 days.
They're having a good time.
Good because you didn't travel till Monday. So you probably could only get 1 day practice. Right. Sunday, the entire team should have come and practice.
Of course.
They should have come and practice.
Yes.
But no, you have all these coaches. Yeah. And that's what I say, you have coaches and men struggling against spin. They don't even know how to play the spin. They don't have a clue. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, and somebody talked some foolishness about they should take out West Indies. I just find that it's crap. I don't know if you heard it. Some guy Chopra from India,
To remove West Indies from the...
But I haven't. My response to that.
That's the worst man.
No, but Aussie for 16 years. So when we were beating England 5-0 in England, 5-0 in West Indies, did anybody say they should take out England? We didn't hear that. When we were beating everybody, so why now people think because we're struggling they should take out West Indies? That's nonsense. I don't agree. Subscribe to that crap. We have a caller.
Yes, anyway, we have a caller. Yes, hello.
Yes, gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen. I see,
yes?
The point you made about West Indies TV.
We're not hearing you.
We're not hearing you at all.
You are telling me, you are giving me the opportunity to go and pile up road for you, put you on that forward pressure when you should go on that on a good wicket.
Caller, we're not hearing you well.
We're not hearing you clearly, caller.
We're not hearing you clearly. Play.
You're better now.
We're hearing you better now. We're hearing you better now.
Stay right there.
Yeah. So the point I was making was that I don't understand Brathwaite. You have a toss, you win on a good batting wicket, and you sending your opponents to bat. So they're going to pile runs, put you under scoreboard pressure. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, to me, what happened today was a defensive measure. And again, that's why I say, why do you have all these coaches? You come to Dominica, that's to strengthen your point, caller. You win the toss, you decide you're going to bat. You have a better pitch today, you win the toss, and also when you win the toss, there has to be some reason why you're going to bat or field.
Conditions,
it's overcast. The wicket is wet.
Grass on the wicket, the wicket is wet.
You don't, in a vitae manner, don't decide we're going to field first. No, because you could find yourself now tomorrow chasing 500. That could happen.
You could score 500.
Caller, are you still there?
Yes, I'm there.
Go ahead, make your point. Finish your point. Yeah.
It was a defensive move.
Very defensive move. Yeah.
Anyway, gentlemen, all right. Good.
At any point the caller was making.
Yeah, but to me, the coward move to like you're scared to bat. But if we go to bat, we'll get bowled out quickly and so on. So let's see if we can get a wicket or two. And West Indies at one time didn't look like they were going to get a wicket.
Yeah, it's 120 without loss.
And in quick time
session,
as well. In quick time they did that. And so I just find sometimes and here I don't know. I really didn't.
Someone was saying, some commentator that bowling is the strongest suit of West Indies, so they had to bowl first.
Well, I think the Ganga had been that.
Yeah, I think the Ganga heard him.
Yeah,
the strongest suit.
I heard him. Well, I don't know if we have suit now because both bowling and batting is weak. To be honest,
for me, we're both bowling. I guess the West Indies getting 20 wickets, against not Indian wickets.
On a good pitch, no.
You can't get 20 wickets.
I don't see at all.
No.
Yeah, especially on that pitch there.
Yeah.
And
the pitch is a placid pitch.
Very good pitch.
Oh, yeah.
I could see India making 400 at least.
Yeah.
I see. Could you wait Kohli batting?
Still a batsman,
But the keeper hasn't batted there. Ishan Kishan.
Keeper, the hell of a batsman.
Ashwin
has the century maker.
He had 5 against West Indies.
Yes.
And Kohli done 86.
Yeah.
88, in fact, yeah.
It could still make 500,
easily.
They flood 384.
Yeah, Central. Go ahead. Good night.
Hello. Yes, Sibo. I would like you and Ozzy to comment about the state of the pitch, the Windsor Park strip, because people, even the Indians said it was a very difficult wicket to bat on, strip to bat on, because the second day India batted I was so fed up in this Sunday. One time I wanted just to leave. Kohli and Sharma played. That's why Sharma got out. Was just prodding forward. They batted for an entire day and they didn't score 250 runs. Because remember, overnight they were 80-something.
Yes.
Then I was saying if it was Australia or England, the brand of cricket they play, now regardless of the state of the pitch, they would have scored at least 260, 270, 280 runs. And then, so I would like you all to comment on the state of the pitch. And another thing, Sibo, where do you say why now people, when West Indies was on top, and they were beating everybody, nobody was saying this thing. Now they're down, everybody is saying they should put them in a different league or something. Sibo, it might be for them, it might do them good. Because that's where you're supposed to be aiming for the top. If all the teams are good or on the top, you will be having very good competitive matches. And let me give you a story, Sibo. Let me give you a story from the Bible. A fella was having an affair with his father's wife, and the church was condoning it.
Okay.
Paul tell them they should have delivered him to Satan so that his soul could be saved on the day of judgment. You see the point I'm making? Is that by bringing West Indies down, relegating them down to a second-tier team or something, you'd be doing good for them because they will want to strive to get back to where they are.
But my point, hold on. My point is, when we were decaling everybody, to use a local term, destroying for people that understand patois, how many people say they should have taken England? We whitewash or blackwash England, twice, 3 times. Nobody said take out England. We beat Australia, we beat India, everybody. Nobody was saying take them out. So why now people must come up with that? No, I don't agree with that.
No, but Sibo, that is true. We beat England, as you say, we decal all the teams. Some of them were decimated by West Indies. But when they meet the other teams, they were still playing very well, competitive. While West Indies were beating them, when England and Australia play, you were getting good cricket. When India and Pakistan play, but now we are being beaten, decimated by, how you calling it?
The associate teams.
The associates.
Yes.
Okay, Senator, listen to that. Ozzy, right. Hold on, let him send the line. We heard talk, Ozzy, that CARICOM, you heard that going to meet the West Indies board, right? You heard that.
I heard something like that. Yes.
When you grew up and you were before me, there was cricket being played all over the place, right? You would come to the Winter. I didn't know the Winter Park. I wasn't born, but you would come in the Winter Park. You would see cricket all day. New Tom everywhere, Collio everywhere.
Oh yes.
When I grew up, cricket all over the place. Yeah. In fact, on a Sunday in Collio aftermath, it was a big match. Who against a back?
Village, inter-villages,
playing cricket and so
cricket around the island.
No, not even in school. Now they're playing sport. Yeah. Who that said it? You thought you that said the academy principal met you?
Yes.
Now they hardly have sports on the curriculum, on the timetable. Whose fault is that? But we hear politicians want to meet the West Indies, but they must fix their business first. The fact is that, and we have to admit it, children now, a lot of them are not playing sport. No. They're not playing sport. So and these are the same children we need to play for West Indies. And it's not only a Dominica problem, by the way. That's happening all over the place.
Hold on.
That's it. So, Senator, did you hear what I said?
Yes, Sibo.
Did you hear what I just said?
Yes, I heard what you said. So I heard what you said. As a matter of fact, that led me to a point that I forgot. This Starboy quickly made Asanas and Hodge ambassador. But Asanas and Hodge could not practice at the Windsor Park. They could not practice at the Windsor Park where they would learn, be getting accustomed to the conditions. So when they meet, when West Indies play in Australia, playing whoever, they would have local knowledge and say they have been playing on the thing. Imagine West Indies team should have been here about 2 weeks and played at least 2 practice matches. Pick players who are good quality and but they cannot play at the Windsor Park, but you run and make them ambassador and you denying them from playing in the Windsor Park. That was the point I forgot. That was
okay.
Anyway, thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks for your contribution, man. Thank you. Pardon?
He always makes
Oh yes. Well,
so
it's been years now that the West Indies cricket is on serious decline. Years,
correct.
And to me, it's getting worse.
You don't see no light at the end of the
tunnel.
Because to be fair, Ozen, you're right. What I'm seeing now, we are struggling big time. Yeah. We are struggling. We don't have the players.
We are up and coming fast bowlers. We are all great stroke players of yesteryear.
In fact, there's an under-19 tournament going on in
Not seeing the fast bowlers.
Teams scoring 120 win the under-19. You're not seeing that. Yeah. That's the problem. Yeah. You have the 4-day tournament. You're not seeing any outstanding bowler.
They rather play the little 10 over, 20 over cricket.
All over the place.
All over the place. Then a real proper cricket has been played again.
We have another caller. Good night.
Yeah, you go.
Yes.
Man, I have to understand life have ups and downs, Life have ups and downs, just like sports too.
Well, it goes in a cycle. Yeah. It's a cycle.
Ups and downs.
Yeah, but I want to stay down all your life, Popo.
No. What I'm saying is, there was a time he was high on top, but there's another time for another thing to be high on top too,
No, I don't think any other team has been.
That he must improve, But time is 10, nothing lasts forever.
Yeah. I don't think any other international team of that stature, number 1 team, could have gone down so low.
Deteriorated
so bad as West Indies has. You think of Australia, that's never happened to Australia.
Everything is
South
very
Africa, England,
Everything is very
they
right
still
now.
had a modicum of cricketers who would still be of some class that you could build back on. But West Indies seemed to be a permanent position of just decline all the time. And I'm not seeing the replacements coming up. I'm not seeing the budding fast bowlers. Some of the pitches now in the Caribbean are sluggish pitches, turgid pitches, killing fast bowling.
You might
Cannot.
And that is another problem, you know.
Pitches, you can't play strokes either.
And that is another problem. Pitches around the Caribbean generally poor,
slow, turgid, and low wickets.
Yes.
And you cannot play strokes on them.
Everything is everything. Wrong the group.
I mean, Sharma and Hooper, all they said for stopping runs. Lockard, they had to play attritionally. They couldn't score fast.
The ball, you couldn't drive through the line of the ball.
Kohli took 81 balls for his first boundary.
And then he was putting up his bat.
He punched the air to show, at least I scored a boundary. Because he couldn't hit the ball to the boundary.
You're very correct. We
have the whole thing was an attritional game. Boring.
Too slow.
India's batting too was attritional.
Yeah, too slow. We have another call. Good night.
Man, it's very boring cricket. Yes, good evening.
Yeah, I think a few years ago, the West Indies team was showing, I wouldn't say they were showing, there was some sort of gelling with the team, I would say. And that was just before the last World Cup. I think at that time, Jason Nola was the captain and they had just beat England in the Caribbean. I think that was the same series Jason Nola scored over a century. So the team was showing some sign of coming together. But what I think happened is that was around the same time there were elections for the West Indies Cricket Board and Ricky Skerritt took over. And just before the World Cup, they fired everybody. I think that in itself was a mistake, and the decline, the rapid decline from then to now, I think that is what had caused that. Because the team was showing some sort of semblance of coming together and that sort of thing. I mean, it wasn't they had turned the corner, but you could see that guys were playing together. But then Ricky Skerritt came in and then they just, before the World Cup, they fired the coach, they fired everybody. And then from since then, everything has been downhill. I mean, under Ricky Skerritt, you cannot point to anything that West Indies cricket has done. I don't know if he was able to save some money or bring in some revenue, but in terms of performance on the field, I was really expecting a lot more from Ricky Skerritt and the running of West Indies cricket. So I don't know what your thoughts on that.
Yeah, well, I don't think Skerritt covered himself in any glory, no glory at all. You're quite right. West Indies cricket never improved under Ricky Skerritt as people thought it would have been.
In the last 4 years.
In fact, it went down badly. And history has proven that.
Yeah.
But even then, when he talked about when this guy got his double century.
We'll come back to.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, this is Kenny Fesbury.
Oh, that's one of the candidates for the presidency. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, none of the other guys came, so maybe we can question him. He's one of the candidates. He could not come in the studio. None of the other three guys came.
We can just give us his proposals, his plans.
Well, people listen to you, Kenneth.
I'm not hearing you guys clearly at all.
But we're hearing you clearly. Can you hear us now?
All right. First and foremost, let me apologize for on being unable to come to the studio. I really wanted the opportunity to actually meet the legendary Aussie race, the golden voice that I raised up here on the radio, and you may not know me personally, but I know you, and Mr. Sebastian, all you guys are legends in all your fields. So thanks for the opportunity. And okay, like everything else, I hail from the village of Maho. I have been in football for more than 45 years. I played in the Maho Rangers, Maho United, and then I moved to the CNM Motorsporters, where I played the likes of Paro, played with Brian Charles, I played with the likes of Echo and Redo, right? And then I've gotten the opportunity to play football with a number of legendary footballers in my time, my era, like the likes of Shane Marshall and the likes of Kenneth Solka, Emmanuel. All right, and then I've been involved very integral in my community in the development of the youth football to the senior team. I am one of the founders of the Belfast Estate Mao Soccer Strikers, and I currently function as the associate coach at my club. At my club, we are able to have our academy. We have our women's team, our under 15, under 20, and our senior team. And I've had the privilege to coach the under 23 men's team as assistant coach to Coach Don Yogal, and I had the opportunity to also coach the senior women's team, and that women's team was actually the most successful women's team in the history of Dominican football, in that we came second at a regional tournament, highest ever placement from any Dominican women team. And I have currently I hold a C license, a CONCACAF C license in coaching. I have spent a few years at some learning institution. So I currently hold my master's in management. I also did some courses in management skills and leadership skills and everything. So I over the past 10 years thereabout, we have seen the direction in which our football has been going. From ranking from 120, 21, 28 thereabout to currently 158. Right? It only shows the direction that we are going. All right.
Okay, can you hold on a while? First, let me ask you a simple question. Why do you want to be president of the DFE? Simple question.
Simple
question.
And to the point.
Yeah, simple question.
I want to be president of the Dominican Football Association because I feel that I have the leadership skills and the competence. Because what we lack in currently in our football is leadership, right? And that to take us in the right direction. Like I said previously, as we are going right now, we're going in a downwards direction. So we need to form what I call a player-centric association that look into the welfare of players, not only current players but past players. Tapping those who have made contributions to the sport development. When there was no money, we need to recognize these sort of people. We need to look out for the welfare of our current players. For example, I will be frank. If you have we had a player from Mau. All of us know we heard about Keanu Martin, and then the direction that his life has taken, right? Is not what we would like it to do, but what role, because we were raving about him so much, but what role did the DFA to take to actually help him, right? Because he might have his challenges from his home, but then we haven't got the psychologists to actually sit down and talk to our national players, find out what's going on with them, right? And this sort of thing. So I feel that I'm in a position with my skill set, with my knowledge and my experience working with the government, right? I represent my country in various forums. So I have the leadership qualities and the competence to lead the football in the right direction. But
don't you think three of you all going up against the incumbent will make it easier for Glen Etienne to win?
Yeah, that is a fact. That is something that the three of us in the race have actually explored the options of forming team with all. I cannot disclose the percentage that we sat down. We had an honest conversation, all right, and then I went to that meeting. If the moderator can call, because he most likely listened to the show, he can tell you that I went to that meeting with an open mind. I left my selfishness and my ego out of the door, and I came to the meeting, hoping that I would hear something from the other candidates, the two other candidates that would give me the reason to step away. But I did not get it. I did not get what we normally say that point of difference, the value proposition from any one of the candidates that they were offering something that I could not offer. But I was bold enough to actually challenge them while I was speaking, and then listen to me. If any one of you can tell me why I should get out the race, right? And I would step out of the race fully, because our goal is to try to get the incumbent out of the office. And I also said that I can articulate to any one of you why I am the better candidate and not them. And as long as they can give me points that are more that are stronger, that are more relevant, right? And then I have things that I cannot deliver. I would think, when I did not find that. So as a result, I'm taking my chances.
Well, it's a pity we couldn't have had you in the studio, because we run out of time and we have to go. All I can wish you the best. I know you're a good candidate. I'm just sorry that we couldn't have had you in the studio. I knew you told me you had some coaching before, and I'm sorry about that. But I wish you the best. That's all I can do.
The whole world has heard him.
Yeah, the whole world has heard him. He has his qualifications,
his qualifications, his interests, and his strong points.
I too wanted the opportunity, like I said, to articulate my plans to the various clubs, and also to get the opportunity to meet you. I really wanted to meet you, Mr. Luis, right? Because I value your opinion, I value your voice, I value your expertise and your form of research before you actually to speak. I believe immensely in your commentary, and I just a pity, like I told Mr. Sebastian.
Well, I know.
For the past 2 weeks, I have been basically what I call football ticking, right? Not politicking, but football ticking. So,
we have to wish you all the best.
Well, we can just wish you all the best, and hope things work out for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Also,
thank you very much.
Before we go back to cricket, I forgot to mention, I met what's her name, this director today, and I felt for her. She met just quickly in tears and was telling me how her land up there had been repossessed by the government, and they wouldn't pay her.
No compensation.
And I felt for the lady. I mean, it is wrong that you take somebody's property and you just wouldn't pay her.
It's very
the lady
wrong.
was in tears. I had to console her. At one time, she was inconsolable, really. And I just find that.
Oh, that is something else.
And apparently, you don't have to hold strong.
Yes,
that's a lady who lost her son.
Yes.
And all that she has been grieving for a long time.
A serious contribution to the health service.
The health service. And now, in fact, her husband before helped the government to, when he worked with them the first land in London. You remember he worked in the planning division.
Planning, yes.
And now the person cannot get their money. I just find that
what is due to her,
Due to her land was taken away.
Not a favor,
Exactly.
Her due, Due and favor are two different things, What is due to me or favor is completely different. That's her due.
And she wouldn't get paid. So next time, you just stay strong. Don't give yourself too much stress, because stress kills people. So be strong. That's all. We have another caller.
All right. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Good night.
Yes, hello.
Good night.
Yes.
Are you hearing?
A dog, I'm hearing a dog barking. Huh? You have a dog by your phone, man.
Okay, I've gotten rid of it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good night, Sibo. Good night, Ozzy.
Good night.
Evening.
Let me quickly talk about the Ali Gafanes thing, because I think he has made all of us proud. But I notice his technique. He doesn't jab at the balls. He allows it to come right under his eye. That is why he has a solid defense, both back and forward. But he could not have reached that height if he didn't.
Listen, your radio, we hear no feedback there. Your radio, turn it off. Turn off the radio. We hear no feedback. Please. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Still have it on.
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
I was saying Afanes could not have reached that height if
He didn't have respect for the cricket laws. He engaged in fair play. He also engaged in playing on a level playing field. And apart from this, his skills and competencies, I think these are three areas that sometimes we do not really look at seriously. Because imagine sometimes he's batting, the umpire gives him out, he feels he's not out, and he decides he's not walking down the pitch. That is against the laws of the cricket. But he has to obey the cricket laws, otherwise he would be suspended or charged or whatever. Because the ICC anti-corruption unit is very serious as far as the players respecting the cricket laws is concerned. Hello?
Yeah, we're listening.
Yes, and I noticed too the pitches. The pitches are extremely slow, and that discourages any young man from even deciding to bowl fast. But again, there seems to be lack of documentation, because before, if we had four-prong pace that made us powerful for about 15 years, I wonder if there was any documentation as how the pitches were prepared, how much rolling it got, how much water, what kind of soil, etc., etc., etc. So if we could piggyback on that, maybe that could help us now to prepare pitches that are bouncy and hard, and that could be encouraging for pace bowlers. Okay, that's all for now.
Yeah,
Have a good night.
Right. Okay, but you know, Avi, as you mentioned, I do not think the groundsmen, there any scientific method they're using now to prepare pitch. To me, guys are guessing. That's how I see it wrong the Caribbean. People are guessing.
But the Alan Crafton is not supposed to be an expert, no?
I saw him in this country in Trinidad. He's supposed to be an expert.
Alan Crafton.
No, it's
Is it Alan Crafton?
No, it's Ken Crafton.
Ken Crafton.
His brother is Alton.
Oh, his brother is Alton.
Okay. But what I am saying,
Ken Crafton then.
Ken Crafton, I've made that point to many of the board people, the president. Coming to Dominica 3 days before a match makes no sense, Ozzy. 3 days before a match, and it makes no sense. And people need, the groundsmen here, none of them have gone to any training.
Proper training,
It's people guessing, they come, they take a hose, they throw on the pitch, they put some grass, and that sort of thing. There's no scientific thing, and I just figure that is another area no attention is being paid to pitch preparation. Pitch preparation.
Yes, definitely. A very important area. Very, very vital to West Indies cricket.
Yeah. We have
proper pitch. Yes, caller?
Hello. You're listening to your radio.
Hello?
Yeah, you're listening to your radio. Put off your radio, Mr. Maynard. Is that you?
Hello?
Yes, good night. We're hearing you.
You hear me?
Yeah, we're hearing you. Yes, we're hearing you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good evening.
Evening. Yes, we're hearing you, Mr. Maynard.
There's so much to really speak about in reference to the cricket on the field, off the field, and you also mentioned in reference to the sad news in reference to the country or the people of Dominica with the unfortunate situation when it comes to England. But I guess we will deal with that on another show, on another occasion.
Indeed, yes.
With the big test series that is going on between England and Australia, that is what is most important to me. The West Indies problems, issues still continue, and the dialogue and the interaction, discussions will always continue, because the players, there are many different reasons why the West Indies cricket find itself in this position. There are many, many reasons why we are in this position today. And there's a lot of work definitely need to be done for us to get out of this slum. And we can't go down no further. We definitely can't go no further. There's a lot of embarrassment which we have faced over the last couple of series. And I still believe that we have some quality. We have some quality. You have people in the team who have performed at some time in the past. But keep, especially in terms of Holder, I think he's overrated. I do not see him as a world-class player. He would have done things, yes, but he's just an ordinary cricketer to me. You have many other persons in the team. In terms of the captain, the vice captain continue to be given run after run after run. I don't know why they continue to invest in him, because I really don't see him producing the goods. And other people across the Caribbean, they have now turned to two young people who I think are the future in terms of the team West Indies cricket, which is the Dominican and the Jamaican. And in reference to the 4-day matches, because in the last 4-day tournament, we would have seen some good performances, a decent amount of centuries, including double centuries. So I will not say that.
Which 4-day tournament you saw double century?
You mean the regional tournament and so on?
Who made a double century in the regional tournament, Mr. Medan?
You know?
You said that in the last regional tournament we saw the many centuries, double century. Who made a double century in the regional tournament?
Mackenzie double century.
That double century?
But you said we saw double centuries and everything in the regional tournament.
Mackenzie, he did not make
not in the tournament. He made it in the Headley Weeks thing. He didn't make it in the tournament itself, in the 4-day tournament.
I'm hearing some talking. I don't know.
Well, it's not on our side, probably on your side.
But I guess you can hear me well.
We hear you clearly.
Yeah, and I don't know. It seems like maybe it's from my end. Since there's a gentleman was on, and then it's like the call was answered, and then I hear in this load of noise and talking.
It's not here at all.
Yeah, I'm still hearing something there. It seems like he's gone now. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Anyway, one point I want to stress, Mr. Maynard, before you look at, is that the number 3 position in the West Indies team, at long last, some effort is being made to cure it. I couldn't understand how they could persist with Raymond Riffer, who's a number 7-8 batsman, who is a part-time bowler. At number 3, where all the great batsmen of cricket throughout history have batted a pivotal position. But at long last, I see Haynes and the company have decided to leave out Raymond Riffer as a number 3 batsman. That alone, to me, was serious blight on West Indies cricket.
Well, my sources, when I inquired, Ozzy, my sources with him, they told me that nobody wanted to bat at number 3. I find that strange.
That's a joke.
I found that strange that nobody wanted to bat at number 3.
So they have to makeshift.
So now here is a man who has only made 100.
Yes.
For 90 matches. He's 31 years of
He's in
age.
30s.
He has a batting average of 27.
Right.
And he was batting number 3 for the West Indies.
For only 11 test matches.
Desmond Hayes is a man who played a lot of cricket.
Why criticize him?
Unbelievable.
Of course, man. That's madness, man.
I don't understand.
How come could Desmond Hayes think of that?
It's crazy.
Raymond Riffer, the guy who used to bat number 7-8.
Well, that's why when he played for Guyana, that's why he played in the franchise.
Lower middle order.
About 6, 7. That's why he played. He never was a number 3. And then he goes to Barbados franchise. He batted there once, and then he made a little few scores. And they have him back then for West Indies.
Number 3 on the West Indies team. I couldn't understand it at all. I couldn't understand
Richards and Lara and
Edmund,
and Lawrence Rowe. Yeah. All these people were.
That's Ricky
they couldn't
Ponting
imagine that.
and this guy.
No, I'm talking about West Indies.
Number 3. Rohan Kanai.
George
Headley. Even Larry Gomes and even Charlie Davis.
Larry Gomes are a very good number 3.
And even Charlie Davis.
Richie Richardson.
At number 3. And you're picking this fella there for about 11 test matches.
It's a nonsense, really.
Yeah, so at least that has been cured, I hope.
But to have Cornwall at the field, or your boy Cornwall, How? And Mr. Maynard too.
Yeah.
Cornwall had no business on the field playing for West Indies.
Yeah.
I'll say it straight.
Yeah.
No business at all playing for West Indies.
Like a Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But Cornwall, how can Cornwall play before Chase? Cornwall doesn't bowl better than Chase.
Oh, see, Cornwall.
Chase is a batsman with 5 test centuries, one of the leading batsmen in the Caribbean. Chase.
It is shameful.
And a much better fieldsman.
It is shameful that you should have Cornwall now. Cornwall has gotten bigger, you know.
He's gotten
I saw
bigger.
Cornwall in the T10 recently. He's gotten bigger.
Yeah.
He's put on more weight.
Yeah.
So that's why he's getting
Bigger
sick.
and less mobile.
Yeah, he's getting sick. So we have Mr. Maynard there.
Yeah, Mr. Maynard.
You went off?
Yeah, he went off.
Oh, he's not there. Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
Let's see.
Hello?
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 Yeah,
Yes,
put off your radio. Put off your radio. We're hearing you now. Put off your radio.
Yeah.
Put it off, please, your radio.
I decided to hang up and call back.
Yeah, put off your radio.
It's so noise at your end. You know, is that your end, Mr. Maynard?
Yeah, I just hearing this noise in the phone for some reason. Okay, so I'm happy that I get back in and it's clearer now.
Okay, good. That's good.
Sebastian just mentioned in reference to Cornwall. And I have a very, very serious problem with, if you're talking about sport, just like you're talking about maybe whether it's a queen pageant, I don't see somebody at a certain weight, because you're talking about horses for courses. Donkey has no horse in horse race, right? When it comes to sport, you're supposed to be at a certain, size and weight. Yes, in the past you might have said, well, the David Boone had a certain size, he delivered. You had, certain people, they delivered, whatever. But Cornwall, for some reason, a very, very long time, even in his teens, he's at this weight. And you want to tell me, because he don't have to take no West Indies board, he don't have to take no court. It's about the individual. Because if you are a professional, you're also supposed to look like a professional, perform like a professional, behave like a professional. I mean, why? There is nothing that he can do in terms of getting down his weight so he can be a lot more agile and more.
So what you're saying?
Better.
What
I
are
have
you
a serious problem with the way he is now, and he has been that way for some time. Now you got to the highest level. You were out of the team, and you ain't work and nothing. You're just running up because you can't even see him take a run to bowl. He just step up, bam, put over your hand. Total nonsense. I don't agree with this. I think he needs to go back to the drawing board, go back to the table, and really bring himself in order. Because I believe if he was in better shape, I believe you would have seen better results. He is not fit, and when it comes to the first class level, which is 4 days, and the level is the competition, the opponent, and everything, it is totally different. This is at the highest level. You're talking about tests, and you really should get the best. And this is not definitely nothing close to the best. Nowhere, and I will not accept it.
Yeah.
So I will agree with Sebastian in terms of this particular position.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I could never think of picking Cornwall before Chase of Barbados. At least this guy can bat. He can bowl us better, maybe even better than Cornwall, and he's a brilliant fieldsman. In my opinion, I say, I would never pick Cornwall before Chase. Cornwall is not even mobile.
But he's not making the effort of he himself not making the effort to lose weight.
But he's way past that.
Yeah, exactly. He cannot get down again.
Cannot.
In fact, my worry for Cornwall is when he's done with cricket, does he? Being at home, probably eating all sorts of things. No, you're laughing. That could be. That's why I worry for him. But
he's getting bigger,
He's getting bigger. You see, he can hardly move. Yeah. In fact, the commentator was honest with you. I felt every time he came, but in fact, once he said that, half an hour wearing Cornwall shirt will look like a dress. He said to look like a dress. No, sometimes you feel sorry for him, man. You see the guy, he can't move or he can't move.
Yeah, guys. When it comes to 2020 cricket, which is just a few hours, and you only have 20 overs to bat. So if he performs at that level, in that version, that does not give him the right to be in a test match for 5 days. It is a total different ball game. Total different ball game, right?
Okay, so, Mr. Maynard,
quickly, because we're running
quickly, time is running out. How do we see this present test match in Trinidad? How do we see it unfolding? Do you agree with Brathwaite winning the toss today and sending India to bat on a perfect, nice batting wicket, nice sunshine? Do you agree with Brathwaite's move in Trinidad? Was that the correct thing to have done? Winning the toss and sending us India to bat on a batting wicket?
Well, I guess bringing in Gabriel, who is perhaps the fastest bowler in the team, with Joseph, and you're looking forward to maybe have the best of the pitch in the match, which is maybe on the first day, the first session, on the first morning, and maybe looking forward because these guys would have, I said, performed before. Roach, Joseph, Gabriel, and if it so happens that, you have people doing the right thing, who are capable, put the ball in the area, the right or the most times.
No, but do you agree or do you not agree with it? Let's get to the point, right?
I do not have any problem in them batting.
You feel a good thing, right?
I have no problem.
You have no problem with
Look at the second session. Look at the second session, right? If they had done what they did in the second session, we could have gotten perhaps more.
Okay, so it was okay then. It was no problem, okay?
Yeah, no. I don't really see that because
listen, Mr. Maynard, when people win tosses, it's not about guessing. You win the toss and you decide to do so. Whether batter depends on the conditions. If you find overcast, the pitch is soft, have moisture,
grass on the pitch,
or it's overcast. But it cannot be that you don't decide, okay, we win the toss, today we'll bat up. No, it doesn't work like that.
I feel my bowling is stronger than my batting.
It's a nonsense because in Dominica, they won the toss, they batted first. The pitch today was a better pitch for batting than in Dominica. And West Indies could very well be chasing 400 or more by tomorrow afternoon when they go to bat. So,
close to 500.
You never know. Kohli could make a double 100.
Yeah. Well, West Indies figured if they maybe go in and bat first, they perhaps maybe could be all out. They're looking.
Well, they move a defensive move.
Defensive move. It's a coward move.
Cowardly move.
I don't want to bat because I feel we'll get out. People don't play cricket like that.
A defeatist move. A defeatist move. You're a loser. You're not doing that to win. You're going to protect yourself in a way. So I don't agree with it at all. And now,
quickly, let's shift gears a bit. Ozzy,
cricket
I'm
match.
talking about pitch. You saw Joe Root get out today, right? A ball that you didn't see it, right?
I didn't see how he goes. Oh no!
A shooter.
Okay.
So a lead of 200. The pitch as the days go on in England at Old Trafford, the pitch will get worse.
Yeah.
In fact, only that Joe Root gets off the shooter. The net ball, Stoke get one and get to fend one off his chest.
I didn't see
so
that.
The wicket's playing at too high.
Right.
So and with the red forecast, they say some for tomorrow. Plenty for Saturday and Sunday. Yeah. So England looking to declare probably
quickly
with a lead of over 200.
By lunchtime.
Yeah, 200.
And try to bowl out in Australia in the afternoon in 2 sessions.
But that's what makes a pitch bad. When some are staying down and some coming towards the head.
Different heights.
So you don't know how to play as a batsman. And the Root got out virtually a shooter. A ball that kept low.
But Australia, I believe, they were in a problem because of having the 2 all-rounders. They ought not to have played Green in this match.
Well, they were trying to prove they had a long batting, and they didn't take advantage of it.
Exactly. So you have Green and Marsh, same players there, and you hang on a proper spinner. Yeah. So Australia, they hang on the bowler now to get any variety, to get any wickets at all. They were reduced to a shambles today. Australia, it's got 178 in 1 set, in 2 hours, you know.
In 2 hours.
England was scoring at over 7 runs per over.
That's true. The guy played a brilliant inning, though.
Yes.
I mean, what's his name? The opener.
What's his name again?
He played a brilliant inning.
Oh, yeah, often, yes. By the ball quicker than a runner ball, you know. So Australia to me seem to be in trouble, you know.
In serious trouble. The rain alone that might save them.
I never believe in this Green fella. I don't believe in him.
Well, they have high hopes for him.
He's being pampered and so on. Well, he's not. I never believe in Green. And Marsh came quickly, and Marsh showed his class. They couldn't drop Marsh, and they want to bring back Green. So they played both Green and Marsh and have a lopsided team with no spin bowler and find themselves in serious trouble at Old Trafford without a spinner. That's what happened to Australia. Definitely. Mr. Minad, a quick point on that.
Well, I will say that it has been an excellent test match. So far, we have seen 2 days, and we have seen today a brilliant 100. England after the first session.
Caldwell, that's his name?
Is
it Caldwell?
No.
The opener.
Yeah, the opener.
And remember,
Crawley. Fantastic innings, man, Crawley.
Brilliant innings.
He scored 180 something, 179 balls, faster than another ball. He reminds people of Victor Trump and his great bastard of 1902.
He can be loose at times.
Very loose, yeah. But the guys who can be dangerous.
That I used to say that him and Pope are going to be the future for England. And I am happy that the England board, the England selectors have even gone further and put Pope as the vice captain, which is definitely the future. He will take over from Stoke. He will take over from Stoke. And this opener, I think, is an excellent player. But there are some people who may not have the best of start in their career, but that don't mean that they're not good enough and don't deserve the opportunity.
Yeah.
He deserves the opportunity, and we have seen a brilliant 100 today by this opener. And remember that you were saying that you don't think he's good enough and that they're just ordinary. That few series ago, outside of Giroud, the England team were not performing at all.
Yeah, okay. Mr. Minel, we have to wind up now. It's now 1 minute to 8 by my time. So we have to wind up. Thank you very much. Until next week. We'll get ready for your next program. So just to the test match, Australia against England. England in a very formidable position, bowling Australia for 317 in the fourth test, 317. And England replying 384 for 4, 67 runs ahead with 6 wickets in hand. England right on top, but they said the weather might affect the test match. But Stokes and his team are preparing to go all out tomorrow to probably, if they can get a 200-run lead, and even bowl out Australia in the 2 sessions after lunch. So tomorrow should be very interested in this test match at Old Trafford. So on that note, just to read the scores, 317, England scored just 317. Australia scored 317. And many of the batsmen got 40s and 30s, nobody going on to be a big score. But England are 384 for 4, and in a commanding position, 67 runs ahead, and is scoring at the rate of 7.5 per over. It looks as though tomorrow will be fireworks at Old Trafford. So on that note, I will say good night because we've gone just past our time. And the next program we'll hear is The Worker's Voice with Mr. Hector John at the console, and replacing Lambert Charles, who's just making his exit now at this stage. So on behalf of Lockett Sebastian, Jerry Charles was with us earlier on, and of course we didn't have Mr. Dobnak today, and Mr. Lambie Charles, the man on the console as usual. Ozzy Lewis saying goodbye until next week, Thursday. Same time, same place, another program of Sports Rap. I now make way for the Workers' Voice. Thank you.